Alright, so I just gotta keep yapping because I just need to talk about this because I'm watching this video and on one hand I feel sympathetic about this girl, but at the same time I'm just like, she fell for the okie doke, right? Like they tell us like, all right, IQ is like a really strong predictor for success, but often you hear it where people are like super smart but they struggle in life, and you're like, how can that be? You're so smart, how are you struggling? Because the IQ is a fucking placebo effect. It's a placebo. It tells you like, hey, you got this number and you're kind of smart. Now, if you're emotionally dysregulated, you're gonna hold on to that. Somebody tells you like you're pretty, and you feel like that's all I'm worth is how pretty I am. You're gonna hold on to that vanity. You're gonna be like, no, well, everything I need to do, I need to look good, I need to smell good, I need to be attractive. But if you're told like your intelligence is all you have, you're gonna grip onto that. So you end up living this life where you're thinking like, well, I'm so smart, that means I should have things, but I don't. So now you're trying to find out, well, use my brain to figure out like, why am I not successful? Oh, because people are jealous of me. Okay, it's a valid thing to say. Yeah, people will probably be jealous if you're smart, but think about it. Like if you're smart in a way that you're lording it over people, like look how smart I am. You're fucking a peon. I'm so much smarter than you. Look how much better I can do my job than you. You're lame. Like if you carry that, you don't have to even say those words, but like if you are carrying that in your mind when you're doing tasks, like I'm so much smarter than all these people, these regular people, it's gonna vent out in every action that you do. But if you're like, no, I'm smart, let me take all of that energy and figure out how I can help people. Whole different vibration, same intelligence, different aim. If you're just like, oh shit, no, I can see your problems. I'm not judging you for it, but like, yo, it might work if you do this. And then people are like, no, I'm not gonna do that. It's fine. You're your own person. And let it go. It's not like an arrogance thing, like, how could you not take my advice? I'm intelligent, my IQ is 135. You gotta realize, like, all right, even though you tell somebody something, there's no reason for them to emotionally absorb it. So you need to accept that. Like, hey, I can see what's going on with you, but you're probably not going to accept it because there's a whole level of emotionality to it. So this girl, she said something really keen. She said, look, it feels like I have this really luxurious interior, but I don't have the gas to go. Seems smart on the surface, but actually she got the whole shit backwards. I feel like she got all the gas. She runs on premium gas. She's told like, hey, you need premium fuel to run because your IQ is up here. But her internal is shit. So the way she's perceiving it is like, well, you got all these Toyota Priuses and Honda Civics, like people are driving these, but like I'm a Mercedes. Like why would people not want to drive this luxurious premium car and they're driving these Priuses? And you're like, think about it, like a fucking Mercedes is way more work than a fucking Civic. So I'm like, all right, well, look, I got the Civic. The interior is okay, but it gets me where I need to go. No need for me to complain. No need for me to avoid it. It does what it needs to do. I'm meeting that expectation. You get a Mercedes, you like, look, I got to pay all of this money to get this. I got to pay all this money for the fuel. So people looking at like really smart people is like, you're just a burden on me. Why would I want to be around you as a fucking smart person? You're not helping me. All you're going to do is just make me feel bad about my ineptitude. So, like, fuck you. Of course I'm going to look at you like you're weird. Get away from me. But smart people who claim they're smart don't really see that aspect because they're just emotional about how smart they are and how they're not getting what they need to get. Like, you realize, like, you having some fucking IQ, that doesn't put you in a better place than somebody else, for real. That's just some numbers somebody made up a long time ago. Like, it really is about your environment. Like, you can be a dummy, a literal dummy, and people will love you because you are right where you need to be. You're not looking, trying to put this, you're not trying to do that. You just like, I'm damn, I'm enjoying myself. That's easy to fucking vibe with. Now, if you're smart And you got all these webs of like, well, what if this person is gonna do this? So I'm gonna act like this so this person doesn't do that. And you're trying to control the situation. Like, people can fucking feel that. They're like, nah, I'm good. I feel like you doing the most. I'm good. But you gonna interpret that as like, well, you're jealous because like I'm better than you. And then it self-perpetuates. Just like, I don't fucking need to deal with this shit. And it's sad because like people really think like because they have some fucking IQ that means they're entitled to something. That's the trick. You feel like you're entitled to an easier life, but realistically, being smart is actually a higher level of a difficulty, right? Because you can see what's happening. Nobody else can see what you can see, right? So you're thinking like, I can see it all, but perspective is a weird thing. Just because you're high up above and you can see everything, that doesn't mean you have the best perspective for somebody. Maybe somebody needs that microscopic perspective. I need you to be close. Maybe I just need you right here. Check out my fit. That's the perspective I need. So just because you think you up high, that's a perspective for a very specific use case. Like, if you are smart and you are up high, you can see like, oh, I can survey the area. I can see the people over there. I can see the people over here. That's a very specific use case. It doesn't mean like I have the highest perspective. I can see, it's like you can't see it all. You can't see inside a person. You can't see like a data, you can't see a temporal aspect to a person like over a longer period of time. So we're talking about measuring intelligence. It's not like number go up. Just because you high doesn't mean you have the perspective, the entitled perspective. That's just, you're just high, right? If I could see for 1,000 years worth of events, but on the ground level, that's a completely different skill set than if somebody is just like, you know what? I can actually see inside your cells. But momentarily, I can see like, oh, you got this, and that's completely different, but somebody has a bird's eye view. They don't teach you this shit. They don't really teach people how to be smart about being smart. They just say, you're smart, figure it out. And most people can't figure it out because they think like, well, you told me I'm smart, so does that mean like everything should be easy? And you're like, no. You just have an intelligence. You have a very sharp intelligence. Like, that's it. Right? You have the ability, you can poke people. Maybe you can shave butter. You can do whatever you need to do with that sharp level of intellect. But just because you're sharp doesn't mean everybody wants to cuddle with you.